Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. Today I am going to mount this external Wi-Fi antenna, basically replacing the internal antenna for this particular Wyze V2. I'm going to replace the internal antenna here using this external one, which is a much more powerful antenna. And be doing that using this outdoor mount because this is going to be mounted outside. So I'm going to show you guys how this works. First thing we need to do is remove the bottom. I'm going to take this little screwdriver that actually came with my outdoor case. There are 2 screws here. They're pretty easy to pop out. They're also, thankfully, magnetized. Thank you to Wyze for doing that because they're tiny. Set those aside where I won't lose them. Okay, the next thing we're going to need to do, you need a small flathead screwdriver to pop this out because you need to kind of wedge underneath and start the pop-out process. I think I am going to go ahead and remove my micro SD card here. Okay, so to very carefully pop this out. You can see there's a tab right there. I apologize. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Well, there we go. And just pop that, set that to the side. So this is the internal components to the Wyze V2. You have that is your micro USB port. This is your charging spot and your USB underneath that. Your internally mounted Wi-Fi antenna is right here. And where that attaches into the camera and the rest of the unit is actually over here. And if you can see this itty bitty little gold, it's really hard to see, but it's right here. I hope the camera will focus. Hang on a second, you guys. I'm gonna see if I can do this. So, you see that little gold spot right there? You have to just pop that out. So you take your flathead screwdriver, boom, popped it right out. You see that? That's it right there. That is the antenna connection. So, let's see if I can get the wire. Hang on, folks. Yeah, this one's wired different than the V2 camera I did yesterday. Pretty interesting. Ideally, I want to get the port away from the rest of it because, well, this is interesting. So this is the wire for the antenna and they have it under this wire here. It's kind of wedged under there, which I can get it through if I'm gentle. Okay, so I ordered this off of Amazon, and basically this little itty bitty connector has to replace the connection from the previously mounted by Wyze Wi-Fi. So there's a couple things that you need to do. First thing is, this is going to mount somewhere, and I am going to put this outdoor mount on the back of my case. So I'm going to need to drill a hole. Now, the best place, and I give credit to other people ahead of me, because of just the sheer amount of distance between here. Gotta take my screws out. There they go. The best place is going to be mounting it somewhere in here. So if you look at how this is going to sit, remember this is the space for your power cord to come out the back of your Wyze cam. So it also gives you some pretty significant distance. So that is the plan. And I have determined that this particular size that goes with the brand and the type of Wi-Fi antenna is going to require a 1/4 inch drill bit. And I did this by trial and error. I started off quite small and just slowly worked my way up yesterday. So I've got my handy dandy drill here. Now, one thing you need to think about, and I drilled the hole pretty high up yesterday, but you have to remember to leave yourself some room. And each case is a little different. So, because you're going to have this sitting like this. So I started on the inside, but don't go too high up and don't go too low when you drill your hole, because you got to remember you need space for your USB to come out, you know, this section to come out and then make that hard turn down. So everything's kind of just got to barely fit in here. So I am going to very carefully think about this. So I'm only just starting my hole. I'm going to take a look at that. Make sure it's how I want it lined up. So I've got it fairly centered, not perfectly, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. So if you want to start from the inside, you can certainly do that. But I am going to and my suggestion is to drill slowly and carefully. Checking it every now and then to see how it looks. I like the look of that. So, woohoo! Okay, initial hole is drilled. Right, simple, easy, no damage to a Wyze cam because this is my outdoor mount. I'm going to go through the inside and clean this hole out. Just making it real clean. Okay. So basically, what I just did is provided a spot for this to, and one thing you need to note on this is there's like a little nut in here that moves. I tighten that all the way down. So this is going to poke through here. And as you can see, it's pretty tight. I got to clean my hole up a little bit more. Again, this is a 1/4 inch drill bit. And it's looking pretty tight. I might need to go up, or what you can just do, kind of wiggle your drill bit a little to elongate your hole. So, you see how that is going to poke out eventually. So, and then your external antenna will connect out. So that part is done. I do want to really clean this hole up. I don't like it. Okay, so again, this is going to sit in here like this. Now it pokes through perfectly. The actual antenna is going to connect in, and you will be able to move it around as needed. That's a very easy port, right? Very, very easy. Now comes the scary part. So I'm getting rid of my 1/4" drill bit. And what I have determined for my particular type of connector, this is a 9/64". We will try the 1/8 drill bit, but I ended up yesterday needing the step up, which is 9/64. But we'll start with this. And this is where things get a little scary. You're going to have to drill into your Wyze cam case, okay? So you really need to take a study of the internal structures here and notice there is obviously your USB, your speaker, you can't drill here, and you've got a lot of really important internals here. So you do have some capacity to come right in here with the drill bit. There is nothing here. There is, you know, pretty free space in here. There's not a lot of internals. This is your charging. Behind that is your USB. Again, you've got some important internal structure here as far as the, you know, this is where your internal Wi-Fi is going to connect and other things. So right here is where you're going to go ahead and drill, because you need to find a way to get this wire into the camera, because the camera is closed, right? So what we've determined is somewhere over here. It needs to be drilled. Now I start my hole with the tiniest drill bit that I can find. This is 1/16 of an inch. Got my drill set down on slow speed. So what I think I'm going to aim for is going to be somewhere right in here. Okay? Not close to this. Scoot it over a little bit. I think what I'm probably going to do, let's just go ahead. I've got a small Sharpie. I believe I want to aim to put my hole right where that is. Now looking at that, I'm going to be somewhere in the range of right here, away from all this electronics. Some free space here. So that is my plan. And again, very, very, very small drill bit to start this, okay? This is not the final size of the hole. And I'm going to go really, really, really slowly. And this is important. Go slowly and don't press down with a lot of pressure, or you're going to go right through your camera. I'm not all the way through, but I'm checking my hole. You can tell I'm getting close. Okay, just have patience and go slow. Once again, checking that hole. This is not the final size. Getting the plastic off. You can see I'm not through here yet. But we're getting close. Alright, I just felt it go through. Alright, do you see that hole? You can see it very, very carefully right there. I'm going to clean it up. But do you see, if you go through with a long drill bit and you get a little crazy and you push down, you're going to drill it right into the motherboard, and then you're going to have ruined your camera. So just have some patience and don't press down hard. Okay, cleaning that up, making sure I'm trying to keep the metal out. So what you're going to be doing in the ending hole, you have to get this tiny little gold piece through that hole. That's all. You know, of course, it's a lot bigger than your wire, so unfortunately, your drill bit needs to be quite a bit bigger. So what you can do is just slowly step up in size on your drill bit. This one I've got here, I believe is 3/32. It's going to be our next larger size. All right, you can see the hole I made, right? I still can't get my connector through. It's just not quite big enough. Sorry. So we're getting there. Now I can go up to, this is 7/64. Again, patience is the best bet here. Just getting little pieces of plastic off. All right, you can check it again. Still can't get through. These are the last two sizes. We'll go up. This one is going to be a little bit closer. Probably not going to do it. This is the 1/8 inch. This is the one I thought was going to work yesterday, and it didn't quite. I'm just getting these little pieces off. Okay, so we're at 1/8 of an inch drill bit. This really looks like it would work, but it doesn't. So 1/8 is just a little bit too small. So 9/64 for me was the winner here. All right. Make sure we get all the little pieces out of the camera housing. All right, so we have created this hole here, which goes through, but I did not smash into the motherboard. See if I can get out that couple flakes of. All right, so we have to get this gold attachment through here, which now is no problem. Okay, so clean off all the debris. So we have drilled this hole. That's a 1/4 inch drill bit. This hole here ended up 9/64 inch. Okay, 9/64. Drill is done. No more drilling. That's gone. All done. Easy peasy. Not a problem. So, first things first. Gonna have to attach this, right? And then we'll have to attach that onto here. Everything looks good. It's clean. So, this is important to have this little flathead screwdriver, because the only way to attach this little thing is you'll have to kind of put it in there, and then you just press down on the top to get it to snap in. Now, the hard part is, what would be ideal would be to, because there's just a lot of wire here. Unfortunately, you just don't need all this. you really don't. And it actually ends up kind of being a bit of a pain because there's only so much space inside the camera and inside the outdoor mount. So it actually is a bit of a headache. Hey everybody, okay, so this is a bit of a problem child. I just cannot get this to come loose. It's wedged in there. I understand a number of people have had this problem. I don't know what to tell you. I'm hoping to be able to kind of tuck it behind like the USB or something, but I just don't think it's going to stay there. So it is what it is. All right, so we've got to, before we attach our antenna, we've got to thread it through the hole. Okay, that's the easy part, right? Piece of cake. Now you're going to take this little piece right here, and it has to connect right there, which is not difficult, but not easy. You know, because these wires always want to twist the way you don't want them to. You know, you got to kind of get it turned around, kind of bent. And then again, flathead screwdriver. And it's tricky because the other antenna's kind of getting in the way, but... Okay, I have attached this. It made a nice click when it snapped down on there. Here's the old one, which I'm really trying to keep out of the way. So we have all this extra wire. Everything's ready to roll. All we need to do is attach, and I say all we need to do with a bit of a laugh because it's not as easy as it sounds. We're going to snap this back in, right? Okay, the two tabs snapped back in. Hear that? Got two screws from Wyze. Luckily they are magnetic. Drop them in. Okay. So, this is our new external longer range Wi-Fi, right? Better Wi-Fi antenna. So, next funness is going to be to put this, we've already got a problem. Okay. Got to put this in the case. First thing to remind you, if you have a micro SD card, you need to mount it. Get it in your, once you put it in your external case, you're not going to want to open it up to put this back in. Okay? So we've got our antenna coming out. Everything's ready to roll, right? I'm going to go ahead and clean my lens off because it was outside for a long time. It's probably a little dusty. This is just a microfiber cloth I used to use on my cameras. Okay, so first thing to remember, depending on the outdoor case you have, mine came with a couple of gaskets. So before I put the camera in, I've got my internal gasket on here. First things first, gasket on. I'm going to put camera in. Second thing, this gasket needs to go on. It's already on because I've already used this case, right? Okay, so the next fun is we have to connect this all in before we put the case on. So I've mentioned that this screws, you can see this nut, right? Do it however you want. You want to put it through here, like so. Okay guys, as you can see, fully assembled, right? So this is the outdoor mount I bought. I have them in white and in black, you know, so that's why I've got a black mount here. But so you can see how close these come to each other, which is why I said you got to be careful you don't go too far this way when you're drilling the hole for this. But the nice thing is this moves, so depending on how you need to mount your camera, you can swing your Wi-Fi antenna around to keep it out of the way of the mount here. So pretty nice setup, I think. Appreciate the Wyze community and YouTube community who came before me, who did the legwork on figuring this particular hack out. I will link below in the description as to the type of outdoor mount I bought for my V2 camera. I believe it's called Galdu. I have done an initial review of this. I will link that below as well, and I can put it up here to the video I did of that. You know, I recommend you find a outdoor mount that has the black because of the infrared glare at night. And if you cannot find that, just use a Sharpie. You'll especially need it on the inside here and here. You might consider just trying to find a black mount, although if you do not have a lot of shade for your camera, or you are in the deep south where it's hot, you might not want to buy the black mounts just due to the overheating situation. But this is it. Piece of cake. I really, again, appreciate the Wyze community and the YouTubers who sorted out this hack. These are the tools you need. This screwdriver came with my outdoor case. This is one I had, so a small flathead and a small Phillips head. The 2 size drill bits I used to create this was a 1/4 inch for this big part, and then internally into the camera was 9/16. I will have that information down below in the description, like I said, along with the link to this particular 2-pack of the Wi-Fi antenna, and then I will try to link below to these as well, so that if you are interested in them, hopefully Amazon still has them. But I appreciate so much you guys checking this video out, and let me know, comments below, questions, comments, any other tricks and hacks you have. These are the first 2 I did were V2 cameras. I have not done my pan cam yet, basically because I have not found an external mount like a hard case such as this for my V2 cam yet. Right now I just have a silicone skin on it, so until I find a nice plastic case, I won't be able to sort this out. So if you have a hack for a pan cam or cam pan, I would love to hear it. If you've got a great hard plastic waterproof case suggestion, I would love to hear that as well. Leave that information in the comments. And thanks guys so much for tuning in. See y'all around in the Wyze community.